You're such an asshole.
Just done voting Cappy here. I voted very not libertarian. I pretty much did straight Republican. I voted against the pot amendment. I would have been for it until all the potheads in Colorado proved me you're not responsible with it. And there was actually an abortion amendment. This has nothing to do with the discussion. I know. Don't worry. We'll get there. And then it was, do you want me, kind of pretty straight up, do you want to make abortion legal in South Dakota? And I am pro-choice, but you women have treated men such shit in this country. Fuck you. I vote against it. Consequences. We are a community and we must all get along. Because I'm going to guess you girls aren't going to vote to lower my taxes or prevent illegal aliens coming in anymore, right? You still gonna vote to fuck over the country? There we go. All right. Moving on. Question, do you still recommend living in the same states and cities that you did when you wrote Reconnaissance Man? I'm 25, just got my journeyman plumber license, only do residential work, live in Memphis, Tennessee. I want to move somewhere else better to establish my home base. I'm killing it now and I'm enjoying my day-to-day working. I don't want to take time off to explore all the cities that pique my interest. Well, I'll tell you right now, now there's cities and states, but Tennessee is one of them that I really liked. It's like the girl you want to have sex with but never got around to. The opportunity never presented itself. You got the mountains over on the east side of the state. It's a beautiful state regardless. There's sizable enough towns like Nashville, Memphis, Knoxville. If you want to have, you need a Walmart, you want some bit of culture and community. It's not too far north. Your winters are not harsh at all. I mean, Tennessee is a real nice state. So now whether Memphis is okay, I believe Memphis, that's the crime one, right? Nashville is Nashville's the music sort of crime one. Memphis is the crime one. And Knoxville is the nice one that people have yet to go out and ruin. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, because I drove. Yeah, I did drive. I think I did drive through before I went to Arkansas. Yeah. But generally speaking, if you're having a good time in Memphis and making good money, boy, and you're right. We now face the paradox of wisdom, right? If you haven't experienced it, how do you know? If I tell you, hey, Tennessee is better than Wisconsin, you never visiting Wisconsin, you're like, well, how do I know? Is Cappy right? And you're right. You technically don't know. But you got to trust me on this. Tennessee is one of the better states to be in. So I'm not saying to prevent you from going out and traveling and conducting reconnaissance. Like, I'm not saying never visit Nevada, never visit Arizona, never visit Texas. But right now, because you're such a young man, you're making good money, you enjoy where you are, I would just stay there and keep on making money where you are. Sounds like you like your job, you like where you live. It really doesn't get any better than that. You're just going to have to trust me that you're not missing out. That's the key thing. Now, this doesn't mean you don't do reconnaissance inevitably. It's like you don't marry the first girl you date, but you got yourself a pretty good girl there now. Well, yeah, go check around. If you get some vacation time, I'd recommend checking out. Well, you're within a real short flight to Florida, so you could check out St. Petersburg, Miami. Those are the only two towns I really have an interest in Florida. You could, I guess, New Hampshire, if you like snow and property taxes. You go to New Hampshire, a lot of people like that. You're only a half a day's drive to Knoxville if you haven't been there. So, like, there's these weekend reconnaissance deals you could do. Texas. You want to check out what Dallas is like? Dallas is my favorite town in Texas. So there's stuff you could do while you're working in Tennessee to reconnoiter at least that eastern part. And there's nothing really north of you. Fuck Illinois, fuck Ohio, fuck Indiana, fuck Wisconsin, and fuck Minnesota with a disease-infected dick. Fuck Michigan, fuck New York, fuck Massachusetts, fuck New England, fuck Pennsylvania. North Carolina and South Carolina are nice, again, within striking distance. So you could do reconnaissance of the entire eastern part of the United States with weekend trips and get a really good feel for it. West, that's going to be an away game. You're going to have to kind of probably fly out, but weekend trip to Vegas. You could figure out Vegas in a couple weekends. The The harder ones are gonna be Montana, Idaho. You gotta wait for the right season. Phoenix this winter, you could do Phoenix, Arizona in general, Nevada, Vegas. Uh, so I'd kinda stay where you are, but that doesn't mean you don't take weekend flights out. And I put that at the number 1 or not number 1, but one of your top priorities. A lot of people view traveling as like a luxury, and it is. It is. But it's a luxury you should afford because if you do it with the eye in mind of I would like to find a place to buy property, that's more of an investment. You know, girls just go because they want to be fucked by foreign men and drink wine and like tee and post selfies. They're not there for a purposed unless you're Erica Shanta Williams. Then she's on a mission. That girl does nothing but look at property overseas. Um, but yeah, if you're going there with an intent and purpose, that is not wasted money and time. And I'm not saying go to Vegas, don't gamble a little bit, don't enjoy the strip, but I do that for like half a day. All right, you've seen it. Now you're off on a mission. Drive around the town. Do you like Henderson? Do you like what the hell? Thule? Is that the northwest part on the way out to the mountains? Do you like Sloan on the south side? Do you like Green Valley, kind of more inner ring suburbs? Do you like downtown? So you got work to do. And it's just honestly, it's just gonna be a lot of driving around, looking around. So your current situation is pretty good. But I wouldn't be putting up a for sale sign on your house. Want to move somewhere better to establish my home base. I'm killing it right now. I'm enjoying my day-to-day working. I don't want to take time off to explore all the cities that pique my interest. Okay, but I mean, if you got a day off or two, that'd be right on my list. Don't go to the nightclubs. You at least should check out Knoxville. At least check out Dallas. Be careful. Don't speed in Arkansas. Uh, these are things you can do when you got a couple days off. And yeah, it's worth the flight. Pay for the flight, get a car rental, drive around. Um, ultimately, the goal is building on the outskirts of the neighboring county of a decent sized metro. Looking at these, very open to others. Only criteria is no freezing Minnesota, scorching Florida, Texas. Oh, okay. So Florida and Texas, you're out. Knoxville, there you go. Charlotte, yes. Raleigh, North Carolina, yep. Columbus, Ohio, no. You don't want to do Ohio. Ohio has local income taxes. I mean, unless you don't mind paying them. It's not even paying them. It's filling out the ridiculous form that you got to file a local income tax. And then Indianapolis, I think maybe Indianapolis also has a local income tax. But why? A bigger question about Indiana, Ohio. Why would you go to a colder state where there's really not a lot going on? I'm sure Indiana and Ohio have their tourist attractions, but there's not a lot of big mountains. There's some farmland, there's some forests. It gets cold. It's the Rust Belt. I've been to Indianapolis. I like Indianapolis. It's a nice town. It's clean, major downtown, but it, I don't know. Or you're not old. You don't have to give up on life just yet. You don't have to go to Ohio, Indianapolis, or Indiana. I would just Knoxville, Tennessee. Let's start there. If you have a couple extra days, make it over the hump down to Asheville, North Carolina. Check that out. Get to Charlotte, get to Raleigh. Just go Interstate 40 all the way. See if you can hit them all in a couple days. It'd be a 5-day trip. One day, check out Knoxville, drive around. Okay. Next day, make it to Asheville, drive around. Then make it to Charlotte because there's not that much to check out in Asheville. You just got to do the downtown, do the loop, back out. Like, okay, kind of got a feeling. Charlotte, I haven't spent that much time. Driven through it, haven't spent that much time. Probably spend the night there. All right, check it out. Make it to Raleigh. All right, here it is. That's what it is, downtown. Check it out. And then all the way back. I'm very interested in your thoughts. Yeah, so I'd say, yeah, those three, they're all on the same interstate. You can nail those out in a lengthy, like you don't want to drive to Knoxville, then drive back. Then drive to Knoxville because you got to go to Ash and then drive all the way back. Like, that's just a waste. Bang them out all in one shot. 4 or 5 day trip. Do it. Do it now. You don't like Florida, you don't like Texas, so you're good to go on that. And then after you check that out, yeah, I know you're like, "Oh, I don't wanna take off from work." You kinda need to take off from work. Get yourself a 3-day weekend, spend it in Las Vegas during winter. Get to Phoenix, separate trip. You don't wanna be driving. The states get big. You get real states out there, right? So you're not gonna be driving from Las Vegas to Phoenix. Check out Phoenix. What else? Denver, because 'cause you're young. I only recommend it's a leftist shithole, but you're near the mountains. I'd be maybe Grand Junction, Durango as well. Salt Lake City, probably wanna wait for summer. Montana, that'd be more of a summer thing. So this winter, maybe schedule a couple things, but in general, no, the list of states and cities are still the same because the state politics more or less rule it. And then when I say, "Oh, you should really live in whatever, Nashville," I don't mean you gotta live in the bluest district where all the crime and the adult Democrats shit in their streets hang out with the open air drug market and all that. I mean, go to a nice neighborhood that's outside of the local tax jurisdiction and go to, where the working people live. Go to where the producers and the productive people of society live. Because every major city is a leftist shithole. I mean, even Dallas has bad parts where the adult Democrats shit the streets. So but there's many nice places around Dallas Fort Worth. So, and that's kind of where you want. So I wouldn't. So when I say Denver, you don't live in Denver. You live like, well, not even Fort Collins because that's a shithole. Alt. You live in Golden. You live in was it Union City? You live Castle Rock. Go to where people who have jobs and work live. Uh, Vegas. Yeah, I mean, although Vegas is a huge, there's very few independent towns. There's Henderson, I think, Enterprise, and Vegas. Vegas covers everything. So I'm in Henderson, but I don't own the house. So I don't worry about that. But yeah, you don't live in North Vegas. I mean, you can live on the strip if you're a party bro, but you don't live by the university where the leftist kids vote in all the crime that happens to them. Ah, those UNLV, you kids are so smart with your leftist politics. Why did I get my car stolen? I voted to help these people. Uh, but yeah, the cities still remain the same because they're determined by states. And then when you get to that metro area, like you don't live in the leftist shithole part of Salt Lake. You live on the outskirts or wherever it is. Once again, the working people live. So there you go. Reconnaissance Man, link below. It is a must read for every young man and woman to make sure you guys buy a house once and you move once. Okay. Like, oh, I found the place I belong. And that will save you a tremendous amount of money, pain, time, and agony, and make your life a lot happier. Imagine that if you only bought a house once. Well, we want to have children and we need 4 bedrooms and 8 bathrooms, and I need a place to park my SUV, said the woman you're not going to marry. And you find another one's like, yes, let's get by with what we can. Let's make do with what we got. All right. Super chats real quick. John Turkey Lurkey Smith, $5 regarding your last request. These guys that watch all your videos, read all your books, and somehow manage to miss your main thesis astonish me. It's because they're blinded by the pussy. That's what it is, John. That's what it is. And cowardice. They don't want to do the hard work. They don't want to have a hard conversation. They want to suffer no pain. They're like fat people. They would rather be fat and miserable and shorten life expectancy than endure the pain of going on the treadmill. It's what it is. And they're looking here. They're squirmers. They're looking for a way. Is there a way I could say the magic words that will not make my girlfriend the neurotic pain in the ass that she is? And she was. She's a neurotic. That's not an opinion. Go read or watch the video. Is there a way to make my bipolar girlfriend not be a psycho evil quanta ha? Yeah, you called leave her. But then I don't get the pussy. John Watson, $5. Truck driver here. Been to every state. I really second Knoxville. Super affordable. Weather usually isn't terrible and people there aren't assholes. I know. Isn't it nice when they're very average? Oh my God, average. mean they're purposely not assholes and malicious? I like not it probably gets colder because it is up there in the mountains. I like Knoxville because it wasn't this ridiculously large metro and traffic wasn't that bad, right? Like I would have all the amenities of a downtown larger metro. There's no large loud nightclubs, but I don't think that's a thing anymore. I'd be curiously now that the big nightclubs are all gone, do do any young people go to major metros anymore? They're not going there because what? You're not gonna get laid, which you weren't ever gonna get laid at nightclubs anyway. There's the joke. So do young people even bother going? In other words, it's a big enough metro and there's a big enough downtown, but there's no action there. See what I'm saying? Like it's not like, oh yeah, I want to go downtown to where all the action isn't. Well, a nice quiet coffee cafe. Mark Magana, hasn't Laughlin grown more? I don't get that. Laughlin, I gotta imagine it's grown more. I don't really pay all that much attention to Laughlin. It kind of you really gotta wanna be going to Laughlin to go to Laughlin. It's not on the way anything. If you're going to Phoenix, you go through Kingman. Needles is the next town south. You don't go to Laughlin to go to LA or California. Like Laughlin is really the only reason you'd go there. It wouldn't surprise me though, because it's not overpopulated. It's not the strip. It's not Nevada, but there's gambling. I can see older people wanting to go down there and retire. Why isn't Lafayette? Yeah, but I don't know. There's casinos. There's the town across in Arizona. I forget the name of it. That's the Colorado River's kind of dammed up, so there's a lake there. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it has. I haven't figured it out. I'll tell you this, it's a tourist town, so you're gonna really wanna be left alone because you're not gonna go hang out with the tourists all the time, and there's not that much to do there. Alright, that's it. Questions, answers, Asshole Consulting. We'll see you guys later. Toodles.